S is, and that's on my chest. Miss Spivey is the best, and I can't take credit. I just happen to be blessed. I got a message to share. Listen if you dare. Don't follow the shadows. Look up and see clear. I swear it's like Plato's allegory of the cave. How can I free people who choose to be slaves? I try until they put me in the grave. I promise the world I save. The world I save. I'm at one with the universe, the world is mine. I'm focused on my grind, I'm focused on the climb up the mountain of success. Love and no stress is written in the stars, prophesy.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Rising Spivey Show. I'm Chanel Spivey, your host. Today I have 3 guests for you, 2 different organizations, companies that you really need to know about. Our first guests are Sam and Courtney from F.L.Y, Future Leaders and Young Entrepreneurs. And later in the show, we're going to talk to Greg Harris from Eco Clean Cars. But for right now, let's welcome Sam and Courtney. How are you all doing today? Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Oh, thank you
No problem at all.
So tell us about Future Leaders and Young Entrepreneurs. Tell us how this even started.
Yeah, so I met Courtney at LA Fitness in September, less than a year ago. In the middle of me maxing out on the bench press, 375, we just started
I know.
we just started talking about, what we're doing in life now. We actually went to high school together, Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Greenbelt, Maryland, over 10 years ago. So we just, recapping over what we've done the last 10 years, and we just had the same interest on empowering minority males into becoming successful. So that conversation led us to meeting at a Starbucks a couple days later, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Now, how in that conversation you guys are doing your reps, just sweat and a lot of testosterone happening. And so when that's going on, how do you strike up a conversation as important as starting an organization as you all have?
And it's an interesting point there because from our perspective, it wasn't really something that we planned. We just kind of fell into it. So it was, in my opinion, a culmination of 2 dreams that we separately had that just had the perfect timing of coming together.
Let's talk about those 2 different dreams. What's your background first?
So my background is in consultative sales and in professional development. So I've specifically worked with branding businesses, helping them grow and develop, change their strategies, and being as marketable as possible.
And Sam?
My background is a project manager. I've managed multiple different projects, multi-million-dollar projects in the healthcare and business sector, as well as government.
So how have you all's backgrounds been instrumental with F.L.Y?
For us, it's kind of the lifeblood of where we get what we need to go, teach the young men. Sam's background in project management, as well as having a master's degree in entrepreneurship. My background specifically in professional development, marketing, networking, being able to take an idea and formulate it into something tangible. Bringing those 2 things together, you really can teach anything that you want from a business perspective. So we can teach you how to start a business, how to run one, how to effectively market one, how to turn an idea into reality. Whatever's necessary, we have kind of that background skill set to make it happen.
Right. I definitely believe our skills complement each other.
Absolutely.
His strengths are more liking my weaknesses, my strengths are more liking his weaknesses. So, we just gel together and, we form a great team.
So, okay, now we know how F.L.Y started. We know who are the founders of F.L.Y. So now tell us more about the organization and what you do.
Oh, man. So F.L.Y's specific mission is to equip minority males with the knowledge, skills, and ability to succeed in any arena of life through impactful programs. And what we mean by impactful programs is basically giving these kids access to different avenues to success that they normally don't see. So on an average basis, if you're a high school athlete or just a young high school male, especially a minority, the range of what you see on a daily basis can be fairly limited. It's our design to open that range.
And what do you mean by the limited range?
Absolutely.
Talking about like what they see maybe on television or
give
me an example.
The images that are projected to them through television, Instagram, Twitter, social media, but also what they're seeing on their regular basis in the school system, what they're seeing at home, what they have access to. For example, if you look at certain communities, you may spend your summers interning at your dad's dentist office or helping him do accounting work in his firm. Most of the young minority males are out there just trying to do something for the summertime or do something with their time. And our goal is to show them what these other kids are seeing on a regular basis. So bringing them doctors, lawyers, ex-NFL athletes, current NFL athletes, individuals that have gone on to start successful businesses that came from where they come from now, to show them that it's not only possible, but it's exactly, yes, very much possible for them to take that same route based on the same situations that they've come from.
So give us an example. Now, how many students or young men do you all work with?
We have about 40
Right.
something, 35, 40?
Yeah, right now we're in
Yeah.
between 35 and 40 young men. It's actually the football team at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. So, just being a former athlete, Cordy and I,
Did you all both play football?
football and track.
Yeah.
So just being a former athlete, you're worried about school, you're worried about getting better on the field. There's not enough time that you learn how to become a better man. So that's the main thing that we're doing. The football coaches, of course they're teaching them the X's and O's, but they're not teaching them how to tie a tie, how to prepare for an interview, how to perform an elevator pitch, how to speak in front of people. So these are things that we're teaching them, things that they're not learning in a classroom setting.
We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, we're going to learn more about how you all do this. What is the process, and if there are other young men that are interested, how they can join the program.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, so we'll be right back. Stay
Right
tuned.
on.
Damon Jones is an educator, author, and entrepreneur. Through his nonprofit organization, STEAM America, he is on a mission to create new learning models for young people that incorporate the principles of STEAM education and the maker movement. Visit STEAM America online at steam-america.org.
In the studio with the F.L.Y guys, and I'm sure there are probably some young brothers listening right now that's saying, I want to be a part of that organization. Can they?
Well, right now we are just trying to make sure our program is strong and we can make it scalable to expand to other schools. So right now we're just focusing on the young men at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. However, once we complete this program and go back to the drawing board and come up with a game plan, we plan on expanding. However, we do host several events throughout the year where several different kids from different schools and around the Maryland, D.C. area can attend.
Well, tell us about the events. What are they like? What does that mean?
Yeah, so from our perspective, again, it's all being about access, right? So our goal is to have these kids experience as many different things as we possibly can. So everything from taking them to a basketball game, but doing it with certain entrepreneurs that we know so they can have conversations. Doing a sit-down dinner with a panel of entrepreneurs that they can ask questions to and get some feedback. Holding an elevator pitch competition where we take a certain amount of time and teach these kids how to do an effective elevator pitch, and having it being judged by a panel so they can get used to, being in the spotlight and having somebody talk to them on a regular basis.
And for those that don't know what an elevator pitch is.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So an elevator pitch is a very short example of what you want to convey. So, for example, the way we teach it to the kids is if you were to walk into an elevator and see the one person that could make your business happen, what would you say to them in 60 seconds? So that's the gist of it.
And even an easier way how we explained it, we said you have 60 seconds to get a girl's number.
Yep. Yeah.
What would you say
would
to
you
get
do?
her attention right away?
That's interesting. I feel like I want to talk about that more. But stay on topic. I would
Might be a
love to
different
hear
show.
some of their responses. That sounds good. So, I wanted to have you all on the show because I'm always happy to speak with people who are giving back. Recently, our wonderful President Obama has spoke on an initiative he plans on launching, My Brother's Keeper. What did you all feel when you heard that news?
Ching.
But no, the My Brother's Keeper initiative was amazing for what it stands for in terms of helping minority males, specifically black males, in regards to education. So it's now putting the stamp of approval for organizations, for different people that had this idea to actually start going out there and doing the work. It's a little different from our aspect because we're not specifically focused on aspects of education, so to speak. It's more so the entrepreneurial spirit aspect and teaching kids how to transform their dreams into reality. But it definitely is kind of setting the pavement or setting the foundation for us to be able to grow in certain things as well because of the initiative that President Obama was able to push out.
Now, you just said something that I want to ask you about. Why, and I think that's I recently did a career day, and I probably was the only person that does freelancing. I was probably one of the only entrepreneurs there, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of different because you want to encourage them to find careers, but I didn't take that that path myself. Why do you all find entrepreneurship to be something to teach to young people? Because entrepreneurship is not pushed in school.
Right.
Right. So I actually got my master's in entrepreneurship from SMU, Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. And once I completed the program, I was like, wow, there's so many things I didn't know, so much information I wish I knew earlier at a younger age. I mean, studies have shown is once you learn an entrepreneur at an earlier age, you have a better chance to become an entrepreneur and, be a successful entrepreneur. So what we're trying to do, we're just trying to teach them these different skills at an earlier age to help them turn their different passions into potential business opportunities.
And to add to Sam's point, when you look at entrepreneurship as a whole, it's not something that you see a lot of in Black communities, minority communities as a whole for us. The reason behind that we've always seen is that when we are developed, when we are educated, when we do get to those higher levels, it's generally from a perspective where we can be great employees. From our perspective, we think that you can take that same knowledge, those same skill sets, put some dream development behind it, put some creativity into it, and now you're creating something. So you're creating opportunities for others. You're pushing out an idea that you thought was important to the world, and you're leaving a mark where you stand as opposed to standing where somebody else did and just getting the check for it. So from that perspective, the entrepreneurial aspect of what we do, that spirit of it, is the driving force to get these young men to understand that you really can create and shape the world as you want to.
What's the future for future leaders and young entrepreneurs? What do you all see for yourselves in 5 years? For yourselves, your organizations in 5 years?
Wow. The future looks very bright.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just started in September, and we've just made so many strides every week, every month. So in 5 years, we plan to be all across the nation in multiple schools, teaching our program to different kids, many different nationalities, and just creating fly gentlemen and fly young ladies as well.
You've seen it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, where can they find you online? Fly.org?
Oh, yeah. So you can go check
Show
out
them
our
the
website.
shirt first.
Absolutely.
See how they
So
did that?
F.L.Y is the logo or the acronym that we utilize. You can check out our website at www.flye.org. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is all FLYEORG. We keep it simple and we keep it to the point, but thank you for flying with us.